We good? All right. I was just saying the Skolniks. Once again, I got to compete with your dog. This is what happened at the fall parents' weekend. So, hi everyone. Welcome to the Woodhull School. And welcome to the Spring Term Awards Ceremony for 2022. So, last year at this time, we were only in here if we were students or teachers at the Woodhull School. If you recall, if you were here last year, it was still kind of sort of COVID protocols. And so we had graduation outside last year under a tent. But this evening, we didn't have, last year, we didn't have the cookout. And none of you were here gathered in the theater. So as I was saying to a number of you, it finally feels like we're getting back to a traditional graduation weekend with the cookout, with all of you here this evening, and the graduation here in the theater tomorrow. This is also the first time that we're all gathered in the theater, families, students, teachers, and we have air conditioning. So I'm looking at some alumni who remember the bad old days when you'd lose about 5 pounds of water weight graduation weekend. So we are most fortunate to have air conditioning, and I really do feel grateful that each and every one of you are here. And I think this is a record in terms of dogs. So how many do we have this weekend? 1, 2, 3. I think we got like 6, 7. Geez. Okay, this is great. And so for those of you who are new to Woodhull and graduation weekend, this is what it's kind of all about. We're kind of all crowded in here, and there are dogs and small children running around. It's very much a family atmosphere. But as you've heard me say, family isn't just hot cocoa and golden retrievers or labradoodles, right? It's also a lot of hard work. And that's what we're going to be celebrating this weekend. The hard work that your sons, that my colleagues have put forth. Because when it's a family, right, it's hard work to build a relationship. It's hard work to sustain a relationship. And it gets messy. You hurt people's feelings. You make mistakes. And that's the work of Woodhull. It's when you make the mistake, it's what you do with it. And being accountable isn't just saying, sorry, I made a mistake. Sorry, and these are the steps that I'm going to take to repair the relationship. So that's what this weekend is about. It's about the culmination of the work of this year or the year before that, or for some of the seniors 4 years ago. And this evening, the Spring Term Awards ceremony, we're going to be recognizing your son's effort and achievement in all 4 pillars of the Woodhull School: academics, arts and athletics, residential life, and communications. And we've got a couple other fun traditions that we do this evening as well. So without further ado, if I could invite Mr. Coughlin and Mr. Funsak to come forward to present the academic awards. And we're streaming, so that is why I actually, those of you who know me, I don't like microphones. I don't need them. Maybe we can do karaoke later, Mr. Coughlin. So, Mr. Spalding, I got to take your cue here. Should our colleagues just kind of... All right, Kenny will take care of it.
Thanks, Kenny. Hi. I hope everyone's having a good day. My name's Tim Coughlin. I am Dean of Studies and Humanities, and I'll be starting off with some of the Humanities Awards in academic achievement, effort, and all of the humanities disciplines. So I'm going to call some people up. There are 2 awards that are given. One for academic achievement itself, and then for the effort. These are given in each of the disciplines. So I'll be doing the humanities. Mr. Funsak will be doing the STEM areas. So first award is going to be for effort in world languages. This is a person that I got to witness just recently cramming for their finals. There was something called Flex Time, where the students could meet with their teachers to make sure that they were extra prepared for their finals. So it was great when we were debating who was going to win this award, and I was talking with Mr. Booth, and he's like, well, look who's in here right now, studying for their final. So I would like to bring up to the stage Harry Nicholas Avilalamont for... All right. effort in world languages. Good job, Harry. All right. For achievement in world languages, this one comes from Mr. Spalding in his Latin classes. I got to witness them playing a game in Latin for their final. It looked pretty challenging. And the winner of this year's award is Theodore John Lucaretzos. So Teddy, come on up. Okay, no running. Let's be safe. Teddy, congrats. All right. For the next award, it will be for arts and theater. I got to witness this person's progression in the arts for quite some time. I know that they claimed that they weren't much of an artist. If you saw the Good Stuff magazine, his picture was there, and I remember a student commenting like, wow, he drew that? He painted that? That's really good. I was like, yeah, I remember getting to see that. He was very proud of it. So Dalton Brian Cronin, come on up. Congrats, Dalton. There you are. And for the next award will be Achievement in Theater and the Arts. This one goes to a person in the theater class. So I got to witness their PowerPoint. They were very meticulous in crafting their project. So much so at the winter term, specifically, they were matching the color of the actual cover of the play to their PowerPoint and going online and finding the exact color that it was. That sort of meticulous attention to detail can only belong to Joshua Solomon Lang. Good job, Josh. Oh, yes, there we are. All right. Very proud of the next person who gets the award for effort in social studies. This one is close to me because I got to see this person constantly working in this class, sometimes at the expense of my own class. And I would be like, hey, don't you have, I don't know, an essay to write that you could be working on instead of this study guide? He's like, oh, I'll get to that. I got to do this first. So, John Paul Larkin, please come up for effort in social sciences. JP. JP, where are you? He was. He could be writing that paper right now. He is so dedicated to his social sciences. He is studying right now for Ancient Civ. So I'm sure that is the case. Yes. So I will give this to Miss Div in the meantime. All right. For the next award for achievement in the social sciences, I thought about different ways to introduce this particular person, and it will be a little esoteric. But those who know the winner will certainly catch the reference, and especially if you are a humanities person or have some knowledge of some politics. So a specter is haunting Woodhall. Harry Nicholas Avellalamont, please come forward for your achievement in the social sciences. Long live the proletariat! Woodhall's own communist, thank you very much. He would have a larger beard, but Mr. Woodhall made him shave. So, okay. So, next one for effort in English. This one also kind of gets me pretty well because while JP may not have been working on his English essay, this person I know certainly was. And when we had our mock trial, right when Judge Danner ended her verdict and I closed the Google Classroom Meet, this person said, well, I won't exactly say the person says, because if you know him, you know sometimes he might not exactly have the most appropriate language. But Michael Anthony Durso, you are the winner. So, well done. Congrats. So, I know he'll be very happy with that. Oh my gosh, JP. Social Sciences. Miss Dibb has it. We gave it to her in your honor. All right. All right. So, JP, Michael, great work. All right. You did awesome on the mock trial part. I'm sorry that the verdict didn't go in your favor. And for achievement in English, all right, we have a junior. All right. Do you want to say this one?
No, you're going to say that.
Okay. The winner is Tenzin Seton. You know. Well done. Congrats. Yeah. Now I'll turn it over to Mr. Funstock.
All right, thank you. So I apologize that I will lack exuberance that Mr. So pardon me for that. So anyway, so I'm presenting the award for achievement in science and math for this term, just to clarify that these awards for this term. For achievement in science is a student in Mr. Carozola's Algebra 2 class, a student who demonstrated willingness to challenge himself by going beyond the Algebra 2 syllabus this term, and for his outstanding effort and achievement. I'm pleased to present this award for achievement in mathematics to Josh Solomon Lang.
Woo!
Thank you. And next is the effort in mathematics. Is a gentle and diligent young man who earned this award for his consistent effort in class, for meeting all the commitments for his homework and participation in class. And I'm pleased to present this award to Nova Henry Greenfield. And the next is the, excuse me, please, achievement in science. This young man's knowledge and passion for environmental science stir very many interesting discourse in class. And also, it brings a lot of positive energy in the class. And it is my pleasure to present the award for achievement in science to Zachary Santler Manzano. And the next award is effort in, I think that, effort in science. This young man is a true role model in his class for his work ethic and also his behavior and manner in class, bring a lot of positive energy to the class. So I'm really, really happy to present this award to Liam Everett Telenius. Thank you.
So there are a few awards left. Mr. Funstock will be doing about the overall progress, and I'm going to give out the award for overall academic achievement and overall academic effort. So the first one that I'm going to give out is for academic effort. And I know that this might sound redundant, and I swear to you the humanities is not just about matching colors, but this person was also very particular in their presentation for the finals that when giving a presentation on Raisin in the Sun, all right, they made sure that they were the color of a raisin or a grape when they gave it. So you might imagine from what happened before, all right, that Joshua Solomon Lang, all right, is the overall academic effort winner. Congrats. And for overall academic achievement, this person has won awards in effort and achievement in various disciplines throughout the terms, both, all of them, fall, winter, and obviously spring. So this last one, we gave him this award because effort is really important to us, but achievement as well, and this person illustrates all the hard work and effort and dedication, ends up with results like this. So the overall academic achievement winner is Liam Everett Telenius. Congrats.
And finally, it is the overall academic progress this term. This young man has turned the corner this year, truly, and continues to grow in all areas of school life, including academic. And we are pleased to see him thriving in all of his classes. And it's my pleasure to present the overall academic progress to Zachary Sandler Menzano. Thank you.
So I'd like to present the Growth in Communication Skills Award for the spring term. As you know, there are formal aspects to the communications program, be it communication groups, school forum, committee for accountability, of course, and advisory. But this award recognizes not only a boy's participation in the formal aspects of the program, but his overall growth and engagement in this essential area of school life. And I was talking with his parents earlier at the cookout, and we were remarking on his growth over the past couple of years at Woodhall, and how he is really comfortable here, but more importantly, more comfortable with himself and his ability to advocate for himself, to express emotions, even powerful emotions, in a respectful and appropriate manner, and to mentor other students. And so there are key parts of the communications process. There's self-reflection, and then there's self-expression with accountability, which he's demonstrated both. And then actually, not too long ago on the stage up here, he demonstrated some artistic self-expression with accountability, and I think discovered a new talent. And with that, it is my pleasure to present the Growth and Communications Award for the spring term to Sean Edward Finnegan. What's that?
Did I come up the wrong way? Is that supposed to come up the
You come with the right way. You can come any way you want. So Ms. Sculsey is going to come forward and present the Phoenix Award for the spring term. And come on up, Ms. Sculsey. Do I have to? Is the mic at the right level for you? Okay.
Probably too tall no matter what. No, it's just about right. All right, so I am here to first present the Phoenix Award, and the Phoenix Award is given to that student who manifests strong school spirit and commitment to the helping of others. And so this student throughout the year has always checked in with adult mentors to see do they need anything? Do we kind of know about things that are happening? He is a student leader who made sure that the student leaders always met and were making sure that they talked about topics to bring forward to the adult mentors or to just address within the student body. They also made sure that if there was a speaker, that tech needs were met, always checking in. They're a big fan of the communications program, always being willing to help facilitate a confrontation or to bring someone in to help advocate for what they need. And this student is Max Blake Kraftsack. Oh, and he got the elevator key for all of the grandparents who need it. So continuing to help. Yes. Yeah. So now if I can ask all of the dorm parents to come up. And so we will be giving out the Dormitory Citizenship Award for both Tower Dorm and French Hall. So both dorm parents for both dorms. Please come. I'm going to give you this one. And if we could too, so we have our French Hall dorm parents over here and our Tower dorm parents over here. If we can just give them a big round of applause for all of their work, what they're doing. And so the Dormitory Citizenship Award can kind of take a bunch of different faces depending on how the year's ebbing and flowing. And for right now, for the spring term, they really focused on sort of timeliness and routines and people who are really meeting those things without really needing prompting, because that really helps out the dorm parents in a lot of ways when that can happen. So I'll hand it over to French Hall.
Okay. Hi. Hey. So this term, we are awarding the French Hall Citizenship Award to a boy who, at the beginning of the term, we really set some goals for, both in terms of routine and communication skills. And I think we can all agree that he has certainly went above and beyond. He is well liked in the dorm. He's always out in the kitchenette watching his tree chopping videos. Always willing to have a conversation, and you can't knock that infectious laughter. So we are awarding this to Owen Marston Danner.
Yes, Owen!
Nice job.
And now Tower Dorm.
All right, so we had a fun term in Tower Dorm as well. It was a little disjointed with COVID coming in and out of the dorm, but we have chosen to give our award to someone who was a quiet but ever steady presence in our dorm this term. He's seen a lot of immense growth as a dormitory citizen since he first arrived here at the start of 2020 school year. And he's always where he's supposed to be, and we can always count on him to get the job done. So we are going to award our Tower Dormitory Award to Joshua Solomon Lang. Congrats, Josh.
So if I could have all the members of the class of 2022 come on up, you can stand behind me here. So yeah, come on, wait. Just doing a practice for tomorrow. Yeah. So we have a tradition here of a class tree. That started back in 2011. And Stephanie, where are you? Stephanie Tyrer, Felix's mom. She went to Vassar College. I just stole this idea from our alma mater. They have a class tree, as you know, and Mr. G really loves that tradition as well. So, Owen, don't cut it down, okay? We have the tree, but the plaque will be there. If you noticed when we did the new landscaping, there was a new tree that went in right by the pond. That's a river birch, and when you all come back as alumni, you'll see your class tree there. So that'll be the class of 2022 tree. And Kyle Stickler, do not burn the class of 2020 tree this evening in the bonfire. And then another tradition that we've had is a class gift. And the boys have done some fundraising, but they came up with this idea, and I've asked Zach Blair to share that.
All right, so if you guys were here at Family Weekend, we were raising funds for a senior project that we all had in plan, and we have decided upon making a Gaga pit for the students for future behind the gym and the APAC, so behind here. We were able to raise plenty of money thanks to everybody who was willing to donate during that weekend and whatnot. So we have started the plans to build it for the students next year and for years to come.
Thanks, boys. And we have a new tradition. Priscilla Loomis, our Director of Advancement, would like to present something to you, boys. And Priscilla, do you need a hand here? I'll happily.
Good evening. So aside from doing advancement fundraising, I'm also alumni relations. So I would like to welcome the class of 2022 as the newest members of the alumni group of the Woodhall School. You are joining.
We're different.
You are joining a select group of gentlemen, and we hope that you will come back on a regular basis and keep us updated on what you are doing and where you are. So for many of them, they all come into my office because I have a chocolate candy dish. And so what would be more appropriate than to give you all something, some swag, and something to remember me by.
I can't wait to use it every day. I'm gonna wear it every day at my college. Every day.
Now you got
I don't care how dirty it is.
Hold on.
Oh, you did pull up. I thought that was personal.
I hope it's not.
Well, that's great. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm so loved. Thank you. Yeah. You're special.
Yeah, in different ways. Give me. Thank you.
Dude, this is so.
So, Ms. Skolsky, if you want to come up and reenact your championship spelling bee performance from yesterday, but also present the awards for clubs.
I can spell the. Can go start with that. These awards we're going to call each club up one at a time, and this is an award for outstanding participation for each club. So the boy who came was enthusiastic, attended regularly, really kind of contributed positively to their club during the spring term. So Mr. Reisman, can you please come up to present Music Appreciation Club?
Thanks, Matt. So yesterday we got handed our yearbooks that were so beautifully made by the yearbook club, and I asked this student to sign my yearbook. And what he wrote really hit home for me because I felt the exact same way. He told me that I was his favorite person to talk to about music on campus, and with him, it's the same. Now, I do like to drive him crazy and just totally disagree with everything he says. Sometimes I do when I say new Kanye is not very good. But sometimes he'll tell me Kendrick Lamar is one of the best rappers alive, and I have to grit my teeth and say, no, he's not. Even though I did convince him to go see Kendrick this summer. I am going to miss him immeasurably, and I'm going to miss our weekly conversations next year. I am awarding the Outstanding Participation in Music Appreciation Club to Henry Adam Littman.
Mr. Marcinick and Ms. McCabe, if you can come up to present outstanding participation in the Culinary Arts and Science Club.
It's not just cooking club. So yeah, I don't know if we've introduced this club to the parents, but every week on Saturday we meet in the STEAM lab. Ms. McCabe and I come generally prepared to make a dish with the boys. This term we've done things like we made mini pizzas, we've made cinnamon rolls, yeah, ice cream, guacamole. Yes, we made that too. So yeah, focus on like very basic cooking skills, but it's a lot of fun, and we get to eat afterwards. Would you like to introduce the? student.
Yeah, so when we were talking about this student earlier, Mr. Marksnick said he always goes the extra mile. And he did quite literally go to Sunny Ridge the extra mile for us and get some ingredients when we were missing them. And yeah, he really always just is there prepared. He helps out with everything, grabs extra stuff, cleans up afterwards. And so he makes our jobs so much easier, and we're really happy to have him this term.
Yeah, so we're awarding the Outstanding Participation in Culinary Arts and Sciences Club to Gabriel Dean Hissler. Well done.
Now, if Miss O and Mr. Mahoney can come up to present the outstanding participation for Roots and Shoots.
All right, yeah, we run Roots and Shoots, which in the fall term when we were still having clubs after school hours was a little bit tough because it was dark most of the times that we were gonna go outside. And then as we had those club times moved to during the day, we saw a lot of progress. We had some street cleanups. We got outside a lot more, planted a lot of garlic and sunflowers. We've actually kind of sort of created this sort of like beautification project, I think, down there. So quite a great way for these guys to get outside and stay outside for 45 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, so along those lines, we decided to give our award to somebody who embodies the mission and spirit of our club in the club time and outside of the club time. So this boy could be found down by the pond pretty often, going out for a fish, spending some time outside, even outside of the club time. So our award today is going to go to Luke Matthew Budavas.
Mr. Carazello, if you can come up to present outstanding participation for Investment Club.
So we were working in investment club this year, and at the start of the year, Mr. Woodhall came to me and said, I would like you to take control of the endowment and oversee it with your investment club. So we were happy to do that, Mr. Woodhall, and I'm here to report the results. So my students, of course, got enthused about cryptocurrency and high-tech companies back in November, and we put all our money in there. And, well, I have some bad news, Mr. Woodhall. So we had a lot of fun. We learned a lot about how clubs run and organization and giving people a voice in the clubs and how appearing and showing up gave you more merit and votes and things like that. And we also learned about dispersing funds, so we would put our risk off and diversify. And we learned about different means of investing, like I said, crypto and regular stocks and real estate, and even got into some options. And one young man who would show up regularly and with enthusiasm and without his phone, I would like to present the award to today, and that is Jack Wells.
Mr. Noonan and Mr. G, if you can please come up to present outstanding participation for the Creative Writing Club.
All right. Before I introduce the Creative Writing Club, I'd first like to say thank you to everyone who contributed to Good Stuff, the Woodhall Arts and Literature magazine. Looks lovely. got photographs and some writing, sculpture, and no matter what Charlie Jones and Michael Durso say, I think all the pieces of art are correctly attributed in this. Yeah, that's right, right? So, yes. Oh yeah, this is Lucas's sculpture. So, Michael Durso on the back. All right. So the Creative Writing Club this year included Hayes Talbot, Aidan McKee, Teddy Licaretzos, and Max Krafsow, who's really more of a ghostwriter this term. And so we decided this term to give the award to two students who are really dedicated to the art of storytelling. These two young men showed up every Saturday, really eager to do the hard work of writing and also like to share their works in progress. I believe they're both working on a romantic comedy set in the English countryside. No, is that wrong?
I think that's wrong, yeah.
Yeah. It's death and war and apocalyptic
Killing,
mayhem
blood,
all
gore,
the time. So, would you like to add anything, Mr. G, before I...
Thanks to both of you. You worked hard. You showed up, and writing it's a lonely thing to do. Mr. Noonan and I both know that. So thanks to both of you.
Yeah. You can do the honors.
Yes, I need these because of our middle name thing. Aidan Alexander McKee and Theodore John Licaretzos. Thank you very much, Aidan.
And they both have excerpts featured in Good Stuff, so please, all of your sons received a copy. Please ask to see it. It's a nice little record of this year.
And you received it digitally, hopefully.
There you go.
So last but certainly not least is the yearbook. So the yearbook is much more than a club. As you know, all your sons got yearbooks yesterday. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into making the yearbook and helping corral. And so if we can give a huge round of applause to Senor Booth and Miss Dibb as they come up and talk about yearbook.
Hello. So, naturally, Ms. Dibb and I are a bit overachievers, so I did write a little something before we introduce our award, because it wouldn't be me if I didn't. So this year, the 2021-2022 yearbook pushed us even further than before. Together, we challenged ourselves to increase overall coverage, ensuring that most of our students were covered over 5 times in the book. We also featured full cutout portraits for each member of the community, a goal that most schools would never be able to achieve. This year, the theme, Along for the Ride, demonstrated our community's adaptability, I'm a better writer than I am a speaker, creativity, and our ability to find the fun in the most challenging of times. This year, we were able to complete the book and also have a signing party, which is everything that we have wanted, especially for me, this being my 3rd year at the Woodhall School. Hearing the room get quiet as the boys began flipping through the books, hearing, I can't believe they put that in there, from some of them. And then as they began to pop up around us, the room filled with excitement as everybody collected signatures from their peers and their teachers. This is my 3rd year working for the yearbook, and I could not have done it without the group that we had, but also without Miss Dibb, who has survived me torturing her for this year. So I do want to give her one round of applause. Thank you. And now I will let you do the award.
Yeah, just so that we know, afterwards we will go over the dedication. But first, the award goes to the student who really was so committed. He was there during our extra sessions, during faculty meetings on Friday. He put a lot of effort into finding photos, into making sure that the cutouts were correct. He did drive me a little crazy, not to belabor the color coding thing, but just what is the exact code for this one? What is it? I don't understand. Where did you find it? Can you please get it for me? But it looks great, and it paid off. So our award goes to Joshua Solomon Lang. You did such a good job, Joshua.
Congratulations. And so the second piece of this is we're actually going to honor a faculty member because, the yearbook, we're overachievers. So every year, the senior class, they vote and they elect somebody that they would like to dedicate their senior yearbook to. This member of the community typically embodies everything, including the mission, the heart, and the soul of the community. And I would say that this gentleman, really does that. He is somebody that I've grown to become really close friends with. He's a mentor of mine. I'm sure he's going to find a few of my spelling errors. But he is somebody that the seniors were so confident when I met with them in their senior comm group. It was a pretty quick decision, and they were almost unanimous in their vote. So the dedication of this year's yearbook goes to Mr. Edward Gelsizer. Thank you. I'm gonna give this to you. Here's my piece.
Thank you.
Yes.
As I said before, I'm really moved, really honored, really touched. I was a great senior class. I love you guys. I taught all of you. You were all in my English class, my film studies classes. I really want to point out that Ms. Overstrom and Mr. Booth and Mr. Mahoney and Mr. Reisman and Mr. Coughlin, sorry, all did a lot of extra work over the course of the spring term. They covered all of my duties for a period of almost 2 months when I was sick. So all of them really deserve this more than I do. But I'm going to take it anyway because I love it. Thank you. Thank you, seniors.
Okay, so we're going to do something that we don't do every year, and it usually takes about 20 years in order to do this. So, Mr. G, you got to come back up here, and Mr. Funsock, please. These two gentlemen to my left and to my right, Mr. Funsock is completing his 21st year at the Woodhall School, and Mr. G is completing his 20th school year at the Woodhall School. Yeah. And at the beginning, I talked about the 4 pillars of the Woodhall School, but these are 2 other pillars right here. My colleagues, my friends, when I think about all that you have done for the school over the last 2 decades, and both of you are just rocks in this community, and your institutional memory, your love for the boys, your love for the school, and when I think of our core values of integrity, compassion, and respect, I think of the 2 of you. I don't know what this school would have been like over the last 2 decades if it weren't for the 2 of you. It would be a different place, and it wouldn't be as great a school as it is if you weren't both here. So, I promised you, I got something for you. Sorry. Yeah! And we can leave them right here. You can sit on them tomorrow graduation. But take a seat. Take a seat. welcome, and I wish I could do more than a chair, because truly, thank you, both of you, for everything that you've done. Thank you.
Chair is good.
And so on to athletics. Actually, we're going to start with outdoor challenge. So if we could have Miss McCabe. Oh, I got to go sit here. Miss McCabe and Mr. Booth. If you're wondering, Mr. Booth was feeling under the weather, and we had a conversation last night. He said, Matt, out of an abundance of caution, maybe I shouldn't, come this evening to the event, but he got the clearance from the doctor. Although, out of the abundance of caution, we usually keep you away from public events anyway, despite your medical condition. But love you, Mr. Booth. All right.
Yes, so we're up here to honor the Outdoor Challenge team. This term was going along with the yearbook theme, definitely a roller coaster. And it had its ups and its downs. Typically the downs were when we were going up because they did not like the steepness. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going with that pun. But overall, the team really did come together. And it was a joy to spend the spring term with these boys. So we've got 2 awards. We've got our Coaches Award and we've got our Most Improved. Do you want to do the Coaches Award?
Yeah, so our Coaches Award is going to go to a boy who I think every person on Outdoor Challenge would unequivocally say this was the most positive student, the friendliest, the one who would talk to everyone, who I don't know that I ever actually heard this boy complain, which is a miracle. And overall, as coaches, this was a really easy decision because this boy was just a true joy to have on our team. So this is going to go to Owen Marston Danner.
And then stay up here because we're going to hand out pins. Just stand up.
Oh, okay.
All right. And so our next up is Most Improved. And this boy, when I think of Most Improved, this was also somebody that Miss McCabe and I agreed on immensely. I had only coached with him in one term in the past. Miss McCabe did previously. And the amount of growth that went into his work in Outdoor Challenge, into the mindset that he put into arriving each day on time. He stayed on the trail the entire time this term. And one of the most important things over the term was a very simple question that he would ask me every day, and that was, how are you? A very small question, but he wouldn't let me get away with a simple, I'm okay. He would often say, no, Senor Booth, how are you? And for him to move up into that, to wonder how his coaches was doing rather than saying, why are you making me do this, Senor Booth? Really moved me. He even started suggesting hikes. And so it's with great pleasure that we award the Most Improved in Outdoor Challenge to Zachary Sandler Manzano. And so before we dismiss, I would like all of Outdoor Challenge to come up because we like to honor them with pins -1. So if Outdoor Challenge could please come up.
I did complain once, but you all did not.
Yes, you may. You could sit down.
Thank you.
Yes, you can sit down with me. Yes. Before we go, I do just like to honor Miss McCabe as she was the one that drove us everywhere, so she was the best chauffeur. And despite what the boys said, we always got back safely.
So, Mr. Reisman and Mr. Spalding, if you want to come forth and bring drama into this theater.
That's what I'm best at. So before I talk, sorry, I know that Mr. Woodhall gets mad when we have our phones out in public spaces, but I have some important things on here, so I am gonna do it. Let me get my notes.
Those are just cat videos.
I do have a lot of those. If anyone wants to meet a really nice boy named Winston, just come ask me for a photo. But before we talk about the spring, I just want to, in front of everyone, talk about the winter play. For those of you who don't know, we get nominated as a part of a Connecticut award show for our high school theater productions, and our winter play got nominated for 2. So Noah, can you stand up? Noah Greenfield? Noah Greenfield got nominated for Best Male Standout Performance in an Ensemble Production this year. And will the cast of the complete works of William Shakespeare stand up? Everyone in the cast got nominated for Best Ensemble. So now we get to move on to the spring play, which is why we're all here. And so can I have the entire cast and crew of All in the Timing up here, please? While Mr. Spalding is handing out the pins, we faced some real big challenges this season. First off, we were not going to do All in the Timing. We were going to do Glengarry Glen Ross. And about 3 weeks into our rehearsal process, the people who held the rights said, no, you cannot do that. And so we had to scramble and pick a new show. On top of that, the Halo Awards, the deadline to be considered for the show was 2 weeks before our performance date. So we already lost 3 weeks, and we had to put a whole show together in another 4. Then, once we had done that, and we were able to send in the video, half our cast and crew got COVID and had to go home. And we had to postpone an extra week. The amount of resilience that these boys have shown this semester, especially knowing me, who can be, holds them to very high standards in theater, and them able to meet it every step of the way, truly amazes and inspires me. And I just want to thank you guys. You taught me a lot about myself as a teacher, as an artist, and thank you for putting on such a great show. So our play, All in the Timing, got nominated for 5 Halos this year. Judah Rosner got nominated for Best Male Comic Performance in a Play. Judah Rosner, Teddy Lucaretsos, Sean Finnegan got nominated for Best Specialty Ensemble. Best Performance by a Dynamic Duo, Hayes Talbot and Judah Rosner. And then Mr. Sean Finnegan not only was nominated, but won Best Male Standout Performance in an Ensemble Production. Sean had never acted or done theater before and beat out people who have been doing theater their entire lives. That's talent. And every member of this production was a part of a nomination for Best Play. I just hope you guys are as proud of yourselves as I know I am, as I know Mr. Spalding is, as I know our whole school community is, and your families are. You guys were wonderful this year. Thank you so much. Now we're moving on to the awards. Let's start with most improved. I think this student is going to figure it out pretty quickly with the first thing I'm going to say. Anyone who knows the two of us knows that we ended last semester with a very strained relationship. And we had some very tough conversations where I laid out my expectations and where I laid out how he needed to regain the trust of myself and our sport. Every step of the way, this student did not just meet the expectations, but far exceeded what I thought he could do. He came in ready to work. Now, there were some tough days. There definitely were some tough days. But he rebounded every time. Every time we needed to have another tough conversation, when he wasn't cracking jokes, when I was trying to say something, he was able to take to heart what I was trying to tell him. He grew exponentially this semester, and it was a joy to watch it happen. Mr. Spalding?
I don't know that I can really say much more than that. The student is certainly deserving of this award, which goes to Judah Daniel Rosner. The next award is the Director's Award in Drama. This goes to a student who really embodies the ensemble spirit that we were trying to develop this term, who was always there on time, who was always working, who worked outside of drama, who put extra effort in. And when I asked him to do something, even if it was an email late at night, it always got done, and I never had to worry about that. Do you want to add anything?
Yeah. Once again, the growth this student showed from the winter term to the spring was immeasurable. More and more, Mr. Spalding and I felt comfortable giving him responsibility, and he really grew into himself as assistant stage manager this year.
The award goes to Joshua Solomon Lang. There you go, sir. Congratulations. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Thanks.
So, Luke, where are you, Luke? I know you had a double hat trick in the Darrow game, but Josh, I think you're up to a double hat trick here in awards this evening. It's clearly the influence of your advisor. Ms. Dibb and Mr. Mahoney, where are you hiding? There you are. If you want to come up and present the awards for lacrosse.
My notes are on paper, so.
He's not even paying attention.
No, he's not. It's okay. Tell him about it later.
Yeah.
Thank you. This was a rebuilding season for lacrosse. We had I believe, 5 students who had played the sport before. For those of you who don't know, you need 11 to play the sport. So we had a really fun time, at least in the beginning of the season. I know it was cold, but they all put up with being outside as much as possible. And the amount of growth that we've seen in our players from the beginning of the season to the end was kind of awe-inspiring to watch kids who had never played the sport before, didn't know the rules, were like, are you sure I need to wear all of my pads? I was like, you're gonna get hit, you really need to wear them, was really impressive. And Mr. Mahoney and I have both played the sport before, and it was amazing to watch and get to share something that we both really enjoyed with the students. I also would like to be failing if I didn't acknowledge the fact that, yes, there were difficult days, but the one thing that really impressed me about this group of boys is that they never gave up. We would be losing, and they would still be out there trying their best. We had too few students to technically play the sport. We played every game 7-on-7, and they still hustled. It's a big field. Everybody was running around as much as they possibly could. Everybody was doing the best that they possibly could, and that made my job a lot easier. And I think we're gonna start with the awards. So first, we have the Coaches Award, which goes to a student who we could really rely on to do anything. He went from having never played this sport before to being really dedicated to it, and telling me that he wants to go play it in college, and that he is really passionate about it, and it's really a joy to see. And that goes to Liam Everett Telenius. Oh, no.
Seriously? Seriously?
Want to do MVPs next?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, the most valuable players that we decided on. It was tough, again, with a group of kids that had never played the sport before. Watching all of them grow, it was really hard to say which one in particular would receive this award. And so we did come down to 2 that I believe you said were the dynamic duo and the...
Sometimes terrible twosome.
Yes. But they were out there on time, playing sticks in hands, pads on, and in every game they would run until they could not run any longer. So you want to take one?
Yeah. So we have Luke Matthew Budavas.
And Elias Saeed Boyd.
I knew it when you said running because nobody else. Oh my god.
Thank you so much.
Come here. Give me a hug. All right, come on. Yeah, I got it. And most improved goes to a boy who went from, I cannot tell you how difficult it was to get him to go on the field at the beginning of the season, because he was convinced he was going to get hit, and I had to explain that that was part of the sport. He was hit several times, and he went from being absolutely petrified of the sport, never wanting to be on the field, refusing to go on the field sometimes, to saying, I want to play defense. And then I had to say, that's where you get hit more. You're going to get hit way more than you would on attack, but okay. And he became an instrumental defender. He went from not wanting to play the sport to being a starting defenseman. And I cannot express to you how amazing it was to watch this kid grow into a sport that he now plays for fun. I don't think we beat out basketball, but we got close. So that goes to Henry Adam Littman. And now I would like to invite all of the lacrosse players up here to get your letters and your pins. They can be yours. Yeah. So I'm gonna let you do it. Yeah. While they make their way up here, something that I wanted to, I would be remiss if I didn't point out, is that I am a woman coaching a men's sport team.
Oh.
Thank you, Elias. It's difficult. I face a lot of strained things with refs and with other coaches and with other teams, and the boys always always had my back, and I knew that if something happened, I could rely on them to respond, if not appropriately, they would always have my back, and that was really important to me, and so I wanted to say thank you to all of you. That was really, really important to me this year. Something I also wanted to point out is Jason Barrett led our team in goals. He had 27 of our 63.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Jason. Good job.
Wow. We had Chaz. Chaz was our amazing goalie. He just got abused. He got hit so often. We had Charlie Gertel, who went out there and won almost every single face-off he took. He also adjusted to a team that was not one that he is used to playing on, and he really adapted to what was with him in terms of his teammates, and he really rose to my expectations of what a leader on that team is supposed to be like.
Yeah.
Further, Jack Wells was our backup goalie, but he also played every position I asked him to. I even would take him out of the game as the goalie and say, all right, put your attack pads on, because I didn't have any subs. He really rose to the occasion and did everything that I asked him to do. The defense team, so mostly it was Avi Skolnick and Mike Durso, did an absolutely unreal job this year. And then I would also like to acknowledge JP and Lucas. Both were unable to play a majority of the games because of injury, but they still showed up to practice. Lucas traveled with us to games, sometimes 2.5 hours away, to take stats for me and to help out with their team. And then also Graham, our team manager, did an excellent job. And finally, Jackson Blanchard, Luke, and Elias, you guys really came into your own in this sport. A lot of impressive work, and I really appreciate it. So thanks, guys. All right, you all can sit down.
You gotta mention that I got the I didn't get a pin. They're only for first time. Okay.
So, Aiden, if you could dim the lights, please. So, we end this evening with a tradition. It's usually not that dark, my friend. We leave it on a little bit. It's Aiden's first year. All right, now everybody look to your left. No, okay. Anyway, actually, a moment of levity, because I'm going to ask the seniors and their families or friends who are here just to take a moment to reflect. Close your eyes, if you will. And I want you to think back to the time before Woodhull. And seniors, I want you to think about maybe the early times at Woodhull. And I'm reminded of a phrase from Milton, darkness visible. Milton's actually describing hell. And I know for many of you along the way, that darkness visible was quite palpable in your lives. And it's how you confronted loss and disappointment and pain, and how you grew from that loss and disappointment and pain. And so we have a tradition here at the end of the Spring Term Awards ceremony. There's a torch lighting, and light is so important I'm reminded of another quotation from English literature from George Eliot, who said, "You have enough light within you to guide your steps." And so, yes, you talk about the light that you discovered at Woodhull, but it was with you all along. And one more quotation. You know me, I'm an English major. And I know Chaz's grandparents are here, and they're from Ireland. So I say this every year. It's from W.B. Yeats, which is, "Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire." And so think back to those moments of darkness in your life, and each of you seniors are about to carry up a torch to the hillside, and take that time to reflect on your time at Woodhull and the light, the hope that you now have within you and before you. In June 2020. Speaking of darkness visible, it was the start of the pandemic. And as we all know, after March break, the boys didn't come back to have a spring term. And the seniors didn't have this weekend. And as it happens, we have a member from the class of 2020 here with us this evening, Kyle Stickler. And as it happens, I have an extra torch. So you missed out on this. I'd like to give you that opportunity now. Oh, Kyle Matthew Stickler. Zachary Colin Blair. Sean Edward Finnegan. Daniel Anatoly Frischberg. Max Blake Kraftsow. Lucas, you're going to have to help me out. I have glasses tomorrow. Is it Marcio or Marco? Oh, it is. There is an I there. I got to get my glasses for tomorrow. Lucas Marcio Landiero. You're welcome. Henry Adam Lipman. Avi Yakov Skolnick.
Thank you, Mr. Woodhull, for everything.
My favorite name. Charles Frederick Sterling the Fifth. Felix John Tyre. Matthew David Olberg. And last and surely not least, Jack Irwin Wells. Oh, that's why I need my glasses. Graham, I was just kidding. This is payback, actually. Graham Charles Rivers. I promise I'll have my glasses. Folks, the evening's over. I'd welcome you to join the seniors up on the bonfire, and we'll see you tomorrow after that at 10 a.m. I recommend getting here a little bit earlier to get some good seats. But please join us up on the bonfire to celebrate the class of 2022. Thank you.